Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Caden Kubler and welcome to Caden's Corner. The Golden State Warriors have been one of the hottest teams in basketball leading up to the All-Star break. They've won their last two games post-All-Star break. Stephen Curry's been on an absolute tear. This team suddenly has a new life, and when this team gets hot from beyond the arc and when they play their style of basketball, they can compete with anybody. This has been a season full of ups and downs for the Golden State Warriors, from Draymond Green being suspended to Klay Thompson's contract rumors, to him being moved to the bench, to Stephen Curry doing everything he can to help this team win ball games. Not too long ago, things started to get really loud for the Warriors. They were 19-24. They didn't look great. Their offense wasn't cohesive. Draymond Green was being suspended. Klay Thompson was really up and down, and Stephen Curry was really their only reliable player, remotely keeping them in ball games. But they went 8-2 before the All-Star break. They've won 10 out of their last 12 ball games, and Stephen Curry has been electric ever since being snubbed as an All-Star starter. The Warriors heading into this final stretch of their season are now 29-26. They currently sit in the 10th seed, but with the way the West lays out, it is so competitive right now. They're only 4 games away from the Dallas Mavericks from being the 5th seed in the Western Conference. I have to give Steve Kerr a lot of credit here because it is a very tough decision moving Klay Thompson to the bench, a guy that you won 4 titles with, who's been one of the best shooters in NBA history. Having to make that decision is very tough. But the fact of the matter is that Brandon Pajemski has been amazing. He's given them a great spark off the bench earlier in the season. Now as a starter, he's been phenomenal for this team defensively, can shoot the 3 ball on the offensive side of the ball. And a guy that I still think is very underrated, Jonathan Kuminga. He's really been the difference maker for this team. Everybody knows that Stephen Curry is their primary scorer, their #1 guy who will give you 30 points a night. But Jonathan Kuminga has really moved into this #2 scorer for the Golden State Warriors. And if they're going to make a deep run, Jonathan Kuminga is really going to be the difference maker for this team. We all know how vital Draymond Green is to the Warriors' success. When he was in suspension, the Warriors looked like a shell of themselves. They weren't as good on the offensive side of the ball. They were nowhere close to how good they were on the defensive side of the ball, and Draymond Green's presence was really missed. But now that he's back, this team is playing a lot better. You're seeing guys like Pajemski, Jonathan Kuminga be more active on the offensive side of the ball because Draymond Green is setting them up. With great teams in sports, when you have a certain amount of success, people in the media will look at any type of way that they can write negative stuff about you. You look at the Warriors 2 years ago. They were up and down in the regular season. Stephen Curry was injured at one point. They made a strong close of the season and ended up winning the title. You look at last year going into the playoffs. Nobody took the Warriors seriously throughout the regular season. They were in the play-in for much of the year. Then they ended up clinching that 6th seed, played the Kings in the first round of the playoffs. The series went to a Game 7. Stephen Curry dropped a legendary 51-point performance on the road. They faced off against the Lakers in the second round, didn't have a strong performance. But the fact of the matter is that if the Warriors make the tournament, they're always going to have a shot. And that's partially because of Stephen Curry, but also because of how good this team is from behind the arc. They have the championship pedigree with Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. They can get it done. They were in the finals 2 years ago and won a title. I believe the Golden State Warriors are one of the most underrated teams in the NBA right now. Nobody's going to want to see this team in the postseason if they're firing on all cylinders. Stephen Curry has been playing like an absolute madman ever since he got snubbed from being an all-star starter. I believe he's got some fuel. This Warriors team has been counted out all year long. And I can tell you right now, I trust the Golden State Warriors more than the Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs if they matched up against each other. If they're in the play-in game and capture that #7 seed, I think that they would beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in a 7-game series. They possess one thing and can do something that no other team can do as well as them in the Western Conference, and that's shoot the 3 ball. They may not have the same size as the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers, but if they can shoot the 3 ball and they're firing on all cylinders, the Golden State Warriors are the most dangerous team heading into the playoffs. I'm Caden Kubler, and that's my take.